Welcome to the Mismatch. I'm Chris Vernon, and joining me, he does every week from TheRinger.com is Dave Jacoby. Jacoby!
Verno, right before the pod, we have discovered and lightly confirmed, lightly researched, some tweets and Instagram posts have been deleted by Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo. What do you make of it? We got to start there.
Sometimes losses can be more devastating than others. And I suppose a loss to the Washington Wizards last night was the final straw, because you and I, before we are recording the show, see a post saying Giannis has deleted his social media stuff. And I go and immediately check his Twitter feed, and all of his tweets going back to 2021 are gone. And it says like NBA player on his bio. And then I went to his Instagram, and it now has 12 posts total on his Instagram. And the only Bucks-related thing is him holding up a trophy. Like, what is going on? This new age in 2025, the passive-aggressive, I'm going to do this, I'm going to let you know how I feel on social media is so crazy. And the idea that they lost to C.J. McCollum, Chris Middleton, and the Wizards last night, and the fallout is now so much greater than just an individual loss to the Wizards. Like, it does send a message. There's no way around it. And whether you want to say it's just him being frustrated, but pretty extreme to go through the work, to go through your social media and start. This is how people let you know nowadays
like it would
of
take
their
a long time
discontent.
and be annoying. Like, I don't know. I don't delete posts on my social media, but you have to delegate that. He's probably on the phone with somebody, be like, okay, yeah, from the year of the championship, everything from then until now, please delete it. So it has to go through and do all that. It just seems like an annoying task.
The Mismatch is presented by FanDuel. FanDuel's got it all. Same game parlays, quick bets for jumping in live, and your way to build the bet that fits your play. Plus, don't miss out on the holiday offers and surprises all month long. So download the FanDuel app or head to FanDuel.com/mismatch to get started. Remember, you must be 21 and over and present in select states, or 18 and over and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
I think that we can talk about this and weave into what happened in the game, because there are some things that are significant. Like, I don't know, Chris Middleton being the one down the stretch, getting a big and one and hitting a huge three. And the final play, which we texted about, which you love so much, with Bilal getting a steal. And he goes down to contest, Bilal dunks and lands on his leg in a manner of which I can't even believe that his bones are still connected to each other. And then Giannis immediately turns around and sort of gives the what the hell was that to a teammate. He seemed body language-wise to be frustrated, and clearly this sort of social media weirdness, passive-aggressive, is a way of expressing that sort of frustration. Giannis is gone.
And I didn't even, that was a funny text exchange that we had last night where you said, did you see him stare down his teammate? I said, I was too busy rewinding the Coulibaly dunk. It was a hell of a poster, too. I mean, shout out to Bilal Coulibaly. He got himself a great poster, because the facial expression for Giannis is terrible, too. Like, the whole thing. And he was high as hell. And, like, landed into the stanchion. It was awesome. It was an awesome steal and an awesome dunk, and Giannis has had it. He has had it so much that he ran straight to social media and started deleting everything post-championship.
And it's Middleton, like, sort of being the guy to win the game. And then you look at Kyle Kuzma, 20 minutes of being out there. 3 points, -9 in a tight game. So think about that. If you're Giannis, you're looking at this like, didn't we trade Middleton for this guy?
Well, meanwhile, What a catastrophe. I mean, if you're the Bucks brass, you got to be sitting around going, I mean, we've done everything we possibly can, including making a dreadful decision to stretch Lillard just to try to sew this thing together so that this guy can have enough around him to be able to win and be happy. And then do the Miles Turner thing, and then it still doesn't take. And so now you're looking up through a quarter of the season. He knows he can't win with them. He knows, right? Like that. And last night was just a punctuation of, okay, this is going to be my life. But Giannis is literally having one of the greatest seasons in NBA history right now, statistically. And they're a losing operation.
The pre-injury, there's sort of like, there's three eras of the season's Bucks. There's the pre-injury Giannis surrounded with shooters. They're winning games and looking good. Like, oh, this might work. And then there's the Giannis gets injured, the Bucks without Giannis, which is, I mean, it is what you would expect from this roster. Yeah. Ryan Rollins won them a couple games. And then this, it's been a very short third stretch of post-injury getting himself back, Giannis. But without Giannis at 100% working himself back, it's not look good. And last night, it really didn't look good. I mean, shout out to the Wizards, who played a great game, had a lot of energy, and McCollum had a crazy step back at the end. But the social media thing, plus the performance, plus don't forget the summer. He wants an opportunity to win a championship. That's not championship basketball we watched last night against the Wizards. So you add it all together, and it equals Giannis Antetokounmpo. But then it's like, what do we do from here? What do we do from here?
No, I mean, now it is something that we monitor because that's real. Like, I mean, the social media thing is real. Like that.
I haven't confirmed it. Like, I haven't seen it on the Times or whatever.
Oh no, I just went, but I looked at both of his accounts. This guy is an active social media guy.
Yeah.
And so all of it's gone. If you go look, his first post now on Twitter is from 2021. His Instagram only has 12 posts.
But what
He's
about
deleted
a cute picture of his
else.
kid and all the funny stuff he does off the court that's not
all
related to the Bucks? It's just all gone. So
yes.
He's basically saying my entire life, not just my relationship with the Bucks, my entire life has not existed since we won the Larry O'Brien championship. He's had kids. He's got some good funny posts, pictures of his vacations, him and his brothers. No, it's all gone. None of that happened.
This is like when you all of a sudden, you see these people that are in relationships and you're like, oh God, what happened? Because everything is just gone, right? Like if I pulled up your social media and your wife and kids were just erased from the social media, I'd be like, what happened?
Then my wife got my account and we got in a big fight. That's exactly right. She got my password and we're in a fight. That's what happened. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you exactly.
Right. And so, yeah, we this is certainly worth monitoring, but good grief, did we we never expected the loss. We were going to talk about the Wizards beating the Bucks anyway.
Tuesday morning. So I just want to put it was Tuesday morning, and I literally just stumbled upon this on Reddit right before recording. But this is
it's real.
It's confirmed and it's real. So let's talk about what happens next, because this is sort of not breaking news. It's just, I don't know, who knows? It could have happened last night. But that turns into a full 24 hours of, is he going to talk? And you're going to see every single fake trade in the world. My algorithm is going to pump me so many Giannis in this uniform, Giannis in that uniform, 3-team trade that sends this to Milwaukee and this to the Warriors and this to the Knicks. It's going to break my brain today. My Tuesday is a whole different day now.
Well, and here is the most interesting is we had a lead up where he said what he said about I want to win and I want to win championships. And so he kind of gave you a little hint over the summer. We know there was this dalliance with the Knicks thing, and that all came out. And then you had that weirdness of the owner saying he wants to be here and Giannis saying, I don't remember that conversation.
Not saying it didn't happen.
So here's the deal. You knew that this was going to have to start well. You didn't know how long, especially with him being out for some amount of time. You didn't know how long before the frustration would set in. But the only thing that could happen for the Bucks for this to be okay, especially after what we went through in the offseason, was for them to start well and feel like they have a chance to be one of the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. And that has for sure not happened, not even close. And now the frustration has set in. Now he has taken steps to let everybody know the frustration is set in. And so now we just wait and see if he's actually going to formally request the trade or if he's just doing the passive aggressive, I'm deleting everything, you know what I want type of deal.
Verno, it did start well. Like, I'm looking at their results. Like, so Halloween night, which feels like a long time ago, but it was a month ago, they're 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then Giannis is hurt.
The longer it is gone, though,
everything falls apart.
Yeah.
But I think that he did establish I want to compete for championships.
Can
and this
you
is not
imagine?
This is not that.
I mean, really, can you imagine that within a year's time, we are going to have possibly Luka Doncic and Giannis Antetokounmpo in different uniforms? I mean, if there were ever 2 guys that you wanted to bank on will be in one uniform for their entire careers, like the Dirks, and we figure Jokic will be as well. But like, those were the guys, right? If you were to say, oh yes, come on,
Steph.
Well, that's already happened. I mean, he's been in the league over 15 years.
I'll say this: we don't have to compare the two, but Giannis has been in trade rumors. People have been monitoring what the team they put around him is since the championship, and they haven't been successful. Some flameouts in the playoffs. Luka was just out of nowhere. Like, they just went to the finals. So it isn't apples to apples, but it's apples to pears.
Well, and he's also still directly in the middle of his prime. As I said, he is having one of the best seasons in NBA history, statistically so far. And he's shocked. And he's on a losing operation. I know he's been out.
It seems like he's always done the right thing publicly and given very considered answers to tough questions. And he feels like a mature person. And this does feel like a little bit of an immature way of expressing his frustration. Is that fair to say? I don't want to be critical of Giannis because everybody loves Giannis, but it feels a little unlike him.
Of course.
To do this.
Yes.
It feels unlike him.
I mean, the only way you can get around that is saying I was hacked. And it's by, it'd be a really strange thing for a hacker to do. That's of course
a really strange
it is.
thing for a hacker
Bro,
to
come
do.
on. He didn't get hacked. I mean, I'm saying I don't know how you explain.
Do you think he sat there all night on the plane or in the hotel, just be like, select, delete?
He might have.
Delete,
you don't know.
Delete. If you're a teammate looking over his shoulder, I don't know if they traveled last night, but if you're a teammate looking over his shoulder on the plane and you're watching him do it, you've just got to be like, "Ooh, this is bad. This is bad."
Well, you mean his brother?
Yeah, maybe
his brother's like,
to his brother. He gave his phone to his brother and was like, "Okay, everything post-championship doesn't exist to me because all that matters in my life is championships."
We did have other upsets last night, but I don't think we're going to have the fallout from those. As far as I know,
Jokic just deleted.
and Şengün, right? So the Rockets lost to the Jazz. Şengün had one of the most unbelievable box scores of the season with 31, 14 assists, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks in the game last night. But they did not have Steven Adams last night. And one of the things you very, very rarely see is the Rockets get out-rebounded in a game.
Yep.
And this felt like we're the good team. We're playing the bad team. We're playing them on the road. We'll crank it up in the fourth quarter. And then they couldn't make threes. The Jazz are shooting 40% from 3, and they got caught. Meanwhile, big rebound for Keontae George. I mean, if you were to search his name on Instagram, it was a minefield yesterday. Anybody can go do it. Go look at it. It is hilarious. It's like all the memes say criminal, investigated, Terry Rozier on line one because of that game he had this weekend, which was like 8 turnovers, no points. I mean, he's literally
0 for 8
just
from the field.
I mean,
So it's worth mentioning these two teams just played. Like they just played, and then the Rockets waxed them, and there was like 2 completely different teams a day later.
Well, Keontae George turned around and had 28 and 8. After all of the allegations of he must be gambling, nobody is that bad.
It's
world we live in.
indicative of how the teams played.
The world we live in now is you're not allowed. I mean, if you're going to have a totally dreadful, terrible, whatever you want to call it, game, abhorrent game, now you're going to get accused of throwing it.
Oh, see,
right?
I disagree. I think if you were going to throw it, you would at least be 2 for 8 from the field instead of 0 for 8. Like you got, there's a skill and a technique to this.
But it used to just be like when you were Tony Snell, you could just suck and everybody would make fun of the box score. Now, if you suck in a game, they're going to say that you're a criminal.
And the feds need to investigate you.
That you need to be investigated for your bad play.
There's one thing. This was a very Verno would be pissed off game. I was thinking about you at the end of this game, and the announcers were so over it because I think I was watching the Rockets broadcast. 14 fouls in the last 5 minutes.
I mean, it's unwatchable.
The Rockets went from 0 fouls to in the bonus in 2 possessions. Right. There was a single offensive possession with multiple fouls. There was just so many foul shots. There's just such and the game was kind of close at the end. It was a 1-possession game. Sengun trapped, I forget who he was trapping, at midcourt and did the dumbest foul, sort of ended the game.
Yeah. Other ones worth mentioning. And look, we have highlighted guys that have been given their opportunity all year. Whether it was Ryan Rollins, whether it was Dennis Jenkins, we've got a new one to add to the list.
No, 2 new ones from this game.
Oh, Spencer Jones? Spencer Jones had 28 when he had 26 all season going into the game. But the Mavs upended the Nuggets. You had a great Anthony Davis game. And we talked about throughout the year when we were talking about some of these teams and most exclusively Dallas when I watched them. And I'm like, the Russell thing has gone like people thought it was going to go. And you can't, the whole no point guard thing and having Cooper Flagg initiate offense for the first part of the season, whatever. This is just so goofy. But coaches are always leery to install a 2-way player. But finally, enough was enough. And Ryan Nembhard has been given his opportunity. And just a few days ago, on the 28th, he was given his opportunity, and he only played 23 minutes, but he had 17, 4, and 2. And then last night, he gets his first 35-minute game where it's like, all right, we're going to roll with this kid. 28, 10, and 3 on 12 of 14 from the field. Obviously, people have an awareness of his brother, Andrew, who has been fantastic for the Indiana Pacers. But Ryan Nembhard, I saw him earlier this year in person, and you can't believe how small he is. It's jarring. And one of the things that I thought was, man, I hope he's absolutely awesome because as we have talked about over the course of the past couple of years, the league, you now see these SGAs and these Cades and these, the guys, if you're going to be small, you have to be amazing, right? That's how it feels. Like Brunson or Trey or Morant or what any of
Chris
these guys.
Paul, whatever,
you have to be just absolutely sensational because the days of the little guard have gone by. But I will say this on Nembhard's front. He was a guy that was always considered he was a Mount Verde guy. His high school team was just freakish. He was there. I went and looked it up. It's Scotty Barnes, Precious Achiuwa, Cade Cunningham, Moses Moody, Jalen Duren. These are all those guys that all went to, and he was one of those guys. And then he went to Gonzaga, and Mark Few called him the best passer he's ever coached, which is pretty unbelievable praise. And so who knows how it will go with Nembhard, but an interesting one where the kid immediately is given an opportunity and he's known as a great passer, like a set the table kind of point guard, but then he gets 28 for you last night in this first start, and he's one to keep an eye on because guys like that truly make people better have an outsized impact on what a team can do. And I look at it and go, look what that did for Flagg last night. Look what that did for Davis last night. Just having a guy that can control it and run the show and be that guy, like, it might be too early. If the kid is what he appears to be in one game against the Nuggets, that changes what the Mavs season can look like if Davis, Flagg, and the rest can stay in the lineup, because guys like that can have an outsized impact on the rest of the group.
No, if I'm not mistaken, I think the 28 points is great. The table setting is amazing. But 10 assists and 0 turnovers. I think he had 0 turnovers in the game last night. So, if you were watching this Mavs team when they were floundering earlier in the season, and you were to build a player in the lab, he would be Ryan Nembhard, 3 inches taller. I mean, that's basically it. And, it looked great last night against one of the best teams in the league, a championship contending Nuggets team. They look sluggish, and Jokic I texted you this too. I'm watching the game in the first quarter, and it's the end of the first quarter, and they put up Jokic's stats. 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in the first quarter. There's 2 minutes left in the first quarter. That level of production, I'm sure we're going to talk about Jokic later, but that level of production was shocking. Just absolutely shocking. That's just dominance. And shout out to the Mavs for sort of weathering that storm and coming back. Great. And Spencer Jones deserves a little something too, because he was not a guy who was on my radar.
Well, and he's one of those look, what the whiteboard says, and they're without Christian Brown, they're without Aaron Gordon, they're without Julian Strawther. So the whiteboard says, hey, here's what we're going to do. And if we leave the Spencer Browns or the Peyton Watsons of the world open, we'll live with it, right? That's the way the game plan is going to go when you are going up against the Nuggets. And those guys have to be able to step up and make you pay. And at least for a night, he did, though they got beat. And one more thing I'll just say on the Nembhard. The reason I brought up the Mount Verde thing is because you've got to remember, with some of these guys, it is different. And the reason I said that is because he has been playing with and against NBA players for longer than virtually anyone, right? When you are in that environment and you're at high school and every day at practice, you're playing against Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham and Scotty Barnes and it's a different type of development. It just is. When you're
also not scoring 40 points a game. You're the point guard for a team with weapons like that.
Correct.
Then you're used to you turns you into a table setter because that's what's best for the team.
And when you can navigate and you look around and your team is Moses, I mean, it was one of the greatest high school teams ever, and he was a part of it, and he got to start on that team. That tells you something, right? His brother was a huge steal in the draft. This one may be even a bigger steal if he can hold down the fort, because that's his first chance. And look at what he did last night against the Nuggets, no less. He didn't do that against the Wizards. He did that against the Nuggets.
It was exactly what the Mavs needed.
Yes.
Exactly what they needed. And let's hope for him and for the Mavs. Let's hope it continues beyond last night.
A couple other ones that we need to mention from last night. The Pistons win again. Look, it was not the biggest of all Cade Cunningham nights with the 18, 8, and 8. But he did have 5 steals. He did have 3 blocks. And it gets to the end of the game. It's nip-tuck. And he just takes over, right? The game-winning, for all intents and purposes, layup where he goes behind his back, then weaves through the entire defense, and then reverses it. I was like, come on.
He split a double team with a crossover spin.
Oh.
He goes into the air, mid-air, splits a double team, and finishes on the other side of the basket.
He's
It was
unbelievable.
and it didn't even look like he was pressing that hard while he was doing it. It's like this. I thought that this is a game I've almost watched the whole thing. There's 27 lead changes and 14 ties. It was a Hawks team. I believe we're on a back-to-back. But one thing I found interesting about this particular game was what is the one word that everyone uses when describing sort of like the Hawks roster?
Length.
Long, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Long went up against Strong last night. And Beef Stew and Duran were like, yeah. You guys are long. You are all tall human beings, but we're going to push you around and out-rebound you. And we're going to block your shots. And we're going to make it hard for you. And like, yeah, it's nice when you're long. Like, get your arms and hands in the passing lanes and be disruptive on defense and get out in transition, which is something that they do really well. Nothing disparaging about the Hawks, but they ran into sort of Strong. They ran into a brick wall. And there's a lot of there's a lot of post-ups, like successful and unsuccessful, but it was a lot of just like Jalen Duren with his hand up demanding the ball and someone being like, oh, we're doing this. Like, it's like we're at the Y. You know what I mean? It's like, okay.
Also,
it didn't always work, but there was a definite difference between long and strong last night in that game.
Well, the thing I love about watching those games on League Pass is you see the in-arena feed, and it's down to the end of the game. There's like 2 minutes left, and there's like a timeout, but they keep the camera in the arena.
Yeah.
And I love on the Jumbotron, they're showing beware of the dogs, right? Like that's the thing they put up. DAWGS, beware of the dog. They're playing like this ominous music, and it's like beware of the dogs. And I was like, and there's like quotes of guys saying, we just got a bunch of dogs and dogs and dogs. And it's like, okay.
This is a great game. Great game. I thought
this.
the Hawks played really well.
Yep.
Shout out Jalen Johnson.
Dillon Brooks refused to bow to the king.
Oh, yeah.
He had 33 and 3/4 last night.
Dude, and he was letting everyone know. This was like Dillon Brooks at his most Dillon Brooksian. This was just, I mean, he's barking with LeBron. He's dunking. He did one of the strangest dunk celebrations I've ever seen. He looked like a Michael Phelps doing a butterfly stroke. Did you see that replay?
I will say,
it's just like, what is it? He's lost his mind. He couldn't miss. There's at one point where he just could not miss.
Well, look, as someone who covered the first several years of Dillon Brooks' career, I will tell you, the second Devin Booker hobbles off that floor, Dillon Brooks is like, go time. I mean, like he cares anyway, right? Mm-hmm. But he took 26 shots last night. He had 33 points. He took 26 shots.
He was the best player on the floor with Luka.
I know.
Luka had 20 in the first quarter. And the Lakers looked very lethargical. They just looked like
I'm not sure that's a word.
Came out flat. They came out flat, and they had tons of turnovers, some of which were great defense from the Suns, and some of which were just like, whoops, dribbled it off my foot. LeBron James just threw it out of bounds with his left hand one time.
Suns have been a great story thus far this year, a surprise for sure. Already without Jalen Green, it is something for sure to keep an eye on the Booker deal. Like how long Grayson Allen's been out as well. It's like some of these teams, there's like, there's a straw that breaks a camel's back eventually, right? Mm-hmm. And so they were able to get by last night. But if Booker is out for a long time, it's going to be super interesting to watch Dillon Brooks take 55 shots a night.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's happening.
Look like last night all the time.
Get ready.
One of the things I liked about this Suns team is you can look at their roster and be like, oh, this is Dillon Brooks scores 40 or we don't win. But that's not how it's actually played out.
Right.
But when you remove Devin Booker scores 40 or we don't win. But if you remove Devin Booker from the equation, while you're not 100% reliant on him, you're losing sort of the offense right there.
Also, the LeBron streak was in peril in the fourth quarter, but then stayed alive. His consecutive 10 points in a game streak. Do you know about this? All right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's almost to 1,300 games.
Well, he worked a little bit to get there last night.
Yeah. Well, it's 1,297 That streak started on January 6th, 2007. I mean, this one never gets brought up. This is the most unbreakable ever. Like, by the way, it's almost 1,300 games. You take a stab at what is second place in terms of consecutive 10-point games.
10-point games?
Yeah.
What the number is or who the person is? I can't. Oh, God.
I'll tell you it's Jordan.
Oh, it's Jordan?
Yeah.
Well, he took 3 years off. So I'll put it at 900.
866.
Okay.
But that's 500 less.
Yeah. This there's a
400.
I'm just gonna,
400 and whatever. Yeah.
Something happened after this game I want to talk to you about.
Let me hear it.
So the Lakers, like the big sort of like quote to come out of the game was Dillon Brooks saying like LeBron likes people that bow to him and I don't bow.
Right.
Perfect Dillon Brooks quote. Perfect.
Of course.
Someone asked Luka, they're like, you guys are playing the Raptors. He's like, well, what do you think about what they've been able to do this season? He goes, to be honest, I don't watch a lot of NBA. And that's what blew my mind. He's just like, I don't have League Pass. I'm not watching this stuff on my free time.
There's a lot of guys that are like that.
I found it interesting. I could make a great case both ways of why that's a great approach. And also, like, I do want to acknowledge, like, they do have a scout team. They do show him film. So he's basically just not on the couch. Like, it's not like he doesn't know who he's playing against or just sort of like shows up like Manny Ramirez. But like, I found it interesting that he's not just watching games when he's by himself.
Two things I'll say about Dillon. Number one, did you see him high five Luka after his made free throw?
No.
Oh, so Luka made the free throw. Dillon Brooks went out there and slapped him 5 like he was his teammate. And Luka looks at him like, because your instinct is to just slap the hand.
Yeah, of course.
That you see.
Yeah. You're not paying attention. It's in your peripheral. You're just like, sure.
The other thing is, I think they had like 16 steals last night. It is absolutely so that Dillon Brooks changes the way the rest of your team plays. That you have, as someone who had my loving moments and my frustrations with Dillon Brooks, there's no question that there are certain guys within the NBA that raise the collective level of play of everybody else. And this is not just true in basketball. This is true in life, right? If there is some guy, if you are working in sales and there's some guy in the cubicle next to you who's making 10 sales a day, you're either going to not be humiliated, or you're going to raise your level to try to be like him, right? And what happens, because he is so likable, guys do try to raise their level to be like him. Like, they look and they see a guy giving it everything he's got, and they start giving it everything they've got. And I do think that matters a great deal for teams.
Well, he's likable as a teammate, but absolutely hateable as a
opponent.
Yeah. He's not, I wouldn't say likable. Exactly.
No, amongst his team.
Yeah.
No, his teammates love him.
Of course. And let's not forget, like, what was the number 1 defense last year?
Houston.
Yeah. Dillon Brooks was there.
Yep.
The one thing I do want to say, Luka's great to watch. Love it so much. There's just he's trying to get fouled on at least 50% of his shot attempts. At least he works that into his shot attempts at least 50% of the time, and I find it frustrating. And if he doesn't get the call, which he's trying to get, he freaks out with the referees. It's like does he really expect him to get all these calls? And then there's one play where he's like talking to the referee, and guess what happens? Dillon Brooks runs past him, over the top pass, and then Dillon Brooks is hanging on the rim while Luka's sitting there jogging back after arguing with the referee. It's frustrating.
All right.
It's frustrating.
Couple others worth mentioning. Desmond Bane with 37, 6, and 5. The Magic walked down the Bulls.
Great night for former Grizzlies.
Yeah, he walked. They just walked him down in the fourth quarter, and I don't know if you had it on, but on Peacock, Scalabrine was on there.
Yeah, Scalabrine, McGrady, and Maria.
McGrady? He said that is the best team in the Eastern Conference.
Disagree.
The Magic. He said they are doing this without Paolo, and you're a great player that's watching this team do that. And now when you come back in and you're fitting within the mix of this, and so it's just interesting. He's like they sold out with the 4 first-round picks to get Desmond Bane, whatever. He's like they've got size, they've got toughness, they've got a star that's on the bench right now. That this is the team. He's like, look around the Eastern Conference and look at what we've got. I just thought it was interesting, right? I thought it was
yes. And I think you could say we just haven't seen it all at once. And I think Suggs is just so impactful on both ends of the floor. I love Jalen Suggs.
You know who I
love him?
Anthony Black.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. He's enormous, too, for a guard.
Oh, yeah. And he's also with all the hair, it's just so easy to spot.
You know what? I'm going to tell you a fun fact that will make sense when you watch them. Suggs and Black, both amazing football players.
Huh.
Both. Like, amazing football players.
Is Black's a receiver, I imagine?
And it makes sense. He was a quarterback as well. Both.
And Suggs is a middle linebacker.
Oh, no. He was a recruited quarterback.
Really?
Suggs, oh, yeah. Suggs was a big-time high school football player. And Anthony Black was as well. He took up basketball late, actually. It was when, and then he, kind of fell through the cracks during COVID and all this kind of stuff. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. He was a receiver. I'm sorry. He was a receiver.
It's journalism. We come to the mismatch for journalism. Gotta get it right. So
he did not. He was not a quarterback. He was a he was a receiver during. He played wide receiver and had 78 catches for 1,327 yards and 16 touchdowns.
Wait a second. 78 catches for 1,300 yards?
Yeah, that was over his 2 varsity seasons. Okay.
Hold on. Let me just do some quick math here.
That's Anthony Black.
1,300 divided by 78. Yeah, that's 17 yards a catch. One quick game I wanted to mention before we move on was I'm watching Clippers.
I'm sorry. Jalen Suggs was offered by Ohio State, Georgia, and Michigan State.
Damn. I've heard of those football programs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have.
They got football guys playing friggin' point guard for the Magic.
One game I want to mention, I'm league passing, Clippers Heat. Oh my God. The second quarter.
They look like the Clippers look like they've quit.
The Heat go on a 30-2 run. 30-2 run. You don't see that very often. We see big runs, stuff like that, but 30-2, Verno. 30-2. Remember their defense last year?
No, and it's like one team is playing hard and the other one is not. It is not. It is just a appalling lack of effort. And then you've seen the post-game stuff, and it's Kawhi's we need better players. Harden's everything's
that
wrong.
Was weird.
It is toxic right now. And I told you I thought that the off the court, beyond what they've got roster-wise, I thought what they had going on, all the stuff with the owner, all the stuff with the coach, all this, it's just bad. It was all bad going into the whole deal, right? And it just leads to this totally bizarre feeling around a building. And you've got, when it's media day and your GM is worried most about answering aspiration questions, it just, there's a tone that's set, that's off, and then you've got these vets, and they're all old as crap, and they obviously are not best buddies, and I don't know. The whole thing is just falling apart.
It fell apart. And just think about the quotes we're getting. The Kawhi Leonard, it was a while ago, so you want to break it down. But him just going after games we need more talent. He's Kawhi, you're a Hall of Famer, champion.
Well,
You know, like,
and
it's like
here's the other thing. The collective NBA is watching that game last night where Ty Lue pulls his starters in the third quarter. Like, it's just, this is gone haywire now. Like, I even saw somebody, they redid the meme, and it was like a corner three, and it was like Chris Paul cuts the lead to 33 because, there's that one. So, like it happened
shot.
again, right? Yeah. It happened again. Chris Paul cuts the lead to 33. Anyways, the whole NBA, fandom, front offices, everyone is like, no. Because the worse they are and the more this falls apart, the better that Oklahoma City pick becomes. And it is a catastrophe. This team's about to win 80 friggin' games and have the number one pick in the draft. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Seriously? You're gonna go 80-2 and get the number one pick in the draft?
David Stern would never let this happen. David Stern would never let this happen.
I mean,
he's
seriously.
like, we've investigated aspiration, and we've decided that they're cleared, and we're not going to punish them. We're going to bolster their team with better players.
I know. Giannis is going to the Clippers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only thing that can happen.
Yes. That's what we've decided as the outcome of this investigation. No more questions.
Yes. Giannis has to go to the Clippers because, look, we cannot let this happen. We cannot let the Thunder have a top 5 pick in the draft. This is,
in a great
by
draft.
the way, they've got 3 first-round picks. But the idea that they have the Clippers pick and the Clippers pick is like now, it gets better by the day, is a catastrophe. Truly.
Ty Lue is it's like, next man up. When the guy gets hurt, it's getting paid $60 million. The next man up is getting paid $500,000. Like, oof.
All right. Also want to give a quick shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. Won their first home game. Michael Porter Jr. with 35. But a big shout out to who they're calling Brooklyn Şengün, Danny Wolf.
Oh, you saw dunk?
Brooklyn Şengün. That's his name. And then, Danny Wolf. By the way, when he had to dunk last night, the announcer going, I was like, come on. Okay. Are we going to wolf howl when Danny Wolf does something now? And then, who was the dunk I sent you? Who was that? That got caught Brenner? It was, oh, God dog it. I can't even remember who it was now. It's an all-time bench celebration.
Podcast.
Oh, it's Clowney. Noah Clowney. That's what it was. Like the swing, and then Noah Clowney takes two steps, and I said, "Oh, not Kalkbrenner."
Our guy
just spiked it. They like had 3 huge posters last night.
Oh my God,
it's crazy,
dude. I understand if you are not watching Nets games. Or no, I'm thinking of a different game.
Oh, you
carry on. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I had to say? Because I was thinking about good dunks from last night. If you're not watching Wizards games, Cam Whitmore will dunk on you.
A salsa rim.
If he gets a step, it doesn't matter if someone is there or not. And it doesn't matter if it goes in or not. He is going to attempt it with Sean Kempian force. And he did it on 2 back-to-back possessions last night in that Wizards game.
Also, he's kind of got a screw loose, so it's extra violent.
It's nice. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some of these guys that's like, I don't know. Like I feel like he's not smiling. I feel like he's like wanting to yell at you after he does it, right? There's some guys that like, woo, impressed by themselves.
With teammates.
Yeah. He's like, and now I'm gonna stomp you in the nuts, like that kind of guy.
Guys, I like the guys with the dunk on the road that just start yelling at the 20,000 fans.
Yes,
it's just like, what do you have against them, dude? They're just showing up to cheer their team.
It's a good night.
Let's do our
night,
bit.
And a lot of stuff came out of it. All right, we are a quarter of the way through the season. We're gonna give 3 things that have stood out to us thus far. I will start. We started the podcast talking about Giannis and the social media deletion and all that kind of crap. Okay, so just a moment to highlight that you don't know the way this stuff is going to play out over the course of 82 games, but through the first 20, or 20-some games of the season, a quarter of the way through the season. John Hollinger once upon a time developed PER, player efficiency rating.
Mm-hmm.
And though there are those that can poke holes in player efficiency rating, what you are typically going to find over the course of a single season and a career is you're going to find it's not too far off from who the best players are and who you think the best players are, okay? The highest ever PER season is 21-22 Nikola Jokic with a 32.85, right? So an average player is like 15. That's average. That's like replacement.
That's MVP
right?
number
15.
1, I want to say.
Okay, and so that is the best player efficiency rating year of all time was Jokic 21-22. To wit, the second best ever is 61-62 Wilt Chamberlain. Okay, so when you're going to look and you're going to find a Jordan year and a LeBron year, and like, again, you could poke holes in it, but what you're going to find is a lot of these best seasons stand up to what you think are the best seasons. The reason I'm bringing this up is because right now, as of last night, the 3 greatest player efficiency rating years in league history are all happening. Now, again, we'll see the way it bears out over the year. Right now, I told you the best season that's ever happened is 32.8. That's the Jokic year, 21-22. As of this morning, Jokic is 35.8. Giannis is 34.9.
Jesus.
And Gilgeous-Alexander is 33.0. Each one of them, if it stopped right now, would have the greatest player efficiency rating year of all time. They're 1, 2, and 3. Go look at it right now. Best career player efficiency rating by a single season. What you're going to see is 3 names all in one season, and then 21-22 Jokic. And again, we'll see how it plays out over the course of the season. But through a quarter of a season, we are seeing 3 of the greatest offensive years ever played. That is insane.
That's shocking.
Also, it speaks to the Giannis season. He's having literally one of the greatest seasons
and they lost
time.
to the Wizards, and he said, delete all my social media since I won the championship.
Also, we were talking about LeBron's streak. SGA, who's on that list that I just mentioned, he kept that 20-point streak going over the weekend. And the most 20-point games consecutively is 126 by Wilt Chamberlain. Keep an eye on it because SGA is at 93.
Really?
Right now. Yeah.
So like when I'm at a bar or like talking to my friends after a basketball rec league thing, and they want to talk to me about SGA, and someone will call him a foul merchant, or someone will say like this or that, criticizing him or whatever, or like, it's a team thing. I'm always just like, here's what I want you to notice about SGA. Consistency.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't go from 20 to 40 on night to night. It is right around 27 to 35 every single night.
No.
It's
Jacoby,
so consistent.
Like, literally.
I know.
Every single night. Like, not like he does it all the time. It's like the number 1 guy is Wilt. And he was playing again. He was dominating everybody. And SGA is second. By the way, third place on 20-point games consecutively, Wilt.
No, that makes sense.
Hey, fourth place,
Wilt.
Oscar Robertson.
Oh,
we don't have, in fact, of a modern era player, the most we've ever had is Durant with 72. SGA's at 93 already.
But how many players will it be? Jason Tatum had 19. Someone else was cooking, but he had 10 assists and he played great defense, and it was a win for the Celtics. It happens all the time. But with SGA, and he doesn't even play in the fourth quarter often. Remember that too, because he does it. Right. He gets to his 30 points so consistently.
It's unbelievable. I mean, to have 20 points, 93 straight games is crazy. That's crazy.
Do you think he probably knows?
Of course he knows.
He knows.
Yes.
Well, I wonder if they'll do like a LeBron thing. Well, they'll be up by 25 in the fourth quarter, and he'll have 18.
Oh, no, it happened. The reason
in.
I'm mentioning is because it was a deal over the weekend. He did it late. He did it late. He got to 20 late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bad game for SGA.
Yeah.
All right, my first one is this. These are observations from quarterway through the season. The NBA Cup has a lot of detractors, but the knockout round has set up for some potential really good matchups in Vegas. Like the way it is broken this year is we've got Magic and Heat, Raptors and Knicks. So obviously a big draw would be Knicks there, but even if the Raptors win, is you get sort of like three of these new challenging teams in the Eastern Conference, and one of them will go through. And that's sort of like the appetizer. The Western, Wemby's probably not playing, so that is something to keep in mind. But Suns and Thunder, I want to see that.
It sucks that Booker got hurt.
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to speculate on how long he'll be out. But
I mean, you went out of the game. So
yeah.
And we've seen this soft tissue stuff. I mean, it's over and over again.
Yeah, and then you get Lakers Spurs, but some sort of like Lakers Thunder matchup.
The West is not as good as the East because of the injuries. If Booker's out and Wemby's out, it puts a damper.
Okay, counterpoint: Booker's out and Wemby's out. You get Lakers Thunder. But I remember, I'm old enough to remember the Lakers Thunder game from earlier this season, when I was so excited to watch, and they made the Lakers look like the JV team. They could not get anything done on offense. Yeah, but hopefully it'll be different. I've enjoyed that. I'm a Cup guy. I like the Cup. It's additive.
I have liked it too. I'm all for anything with stakes. And again, it doesn't hurt anything. Like my option is I'm just watching a regular season game. So at least you've made them worth something. I do think teams play them differently. I do. Mm-hmm. I think they matter more to them.
I think so too. I mean, I have some notes about some of the courts, but that's a small thing.
Oh, and some of the courts and jersey combos. Heinous. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Some of them are truly heinous. All right, next one. So through a quarter of the season, I do think it's worth mentioning that so much of it depends on how your schedule has broken, right? That this stuff all evens out in the end. And some of the teams, the first 20 games of the season, it's something that we don't always pay attention to. And then we go, oh, they've really gotten going. Well, they really have they gotten going, or did they just not have to play good teams every night, right? Here's the easiest schedule so far. And you just tell me, and the easiest schedule, interestingly enough, had been Oklahoma City.
The Thunder, yeah.
Like it matters. Okay. But here's ones that have played the easiest schedule so far, and this is going into last night. Oklahoma City, Toronto, Dallas, the Lakers, Denver, Phoenix, Minnesota, the Knicks, the Pistons. And so you look at those and you go, okay, which of those are a function of the light schedule? Which of those are a function of, and right?
Well,
so
there's one outlier that we have to discuss right off the bat is you're telling me the Dallas Mavericks have the third easiest schedule so far, and these have been the results?
Right, I know.
I don't care if there's no Kyrie or no AD. Like, I know. If you've got the third easiest schedule.
That's right.
And you're
so those are some,
but
I mean, I think the surprise teams are the ones to take the biggest look at, right? i.e. Toronto and Phoenix. They've been the biggest surprises in both of the conferences. So how much of that is a function of schedule and how much of that is a function of, hey, this team is actually for real. And when things even out schedule-wise, they're not going to fall back to the pack. And then obviously with like the Lakers or Denver or Minnesota, any of these teams, right? I'm just saying if the next 20 games aren't as good as the first 20 games, that's a reason we can look back and go, their schedule through the first quarter of the season wasn't that hard. And now they've had to start playing a much more difficult schedule. On the flip side, here are some teams that if they end up playing much better, and they start stacking together some wins,
Oh, I like this better.
it wouldn't be so surprising. Portland, Miami, Orlando. I mean, that speaks to how good they have been because their schedules have been hard. Houston, too. Cleveland and Memphis. So there's a group of teams that when you look and you go, they've had really hard schedules so far. Obviously, it started for Memphis. They're 5-2 in their last 7 because they haven't had to play hard teams, right? When you play a bunch of hard ones, and so it's worth mentioning with those teams, with those groups of teams, that there's some of those that we're going to look at and we're going to go, oh, well, they started off hot, but it hasn't. Well, I mean, yeah, they did start off hot, but a lot of it was a function of schedule. Meanwhile, I think that speaks very well for the Portlands and the Clevelands of the world and makes you think even more of Miami, Orlando, and Houston.
Absolutely.
Because they've already been good with their schedule. What happens when their schedule lightens up?
Well, you say one of the biggest surprises in each conference. I think one of the biggest surprises in the Eastern Conference is that the Cavaliers have underperformed. But what is the reason everyone says the Cavaliers have underperformed? Injuries.
Yeah,
this Garland's not back, and Struz isn't out, and Sam Merrill, and that probably is the number one reason. But if you look at reason number 2, it might just be that they're playing. They're
played a harder
the second hardest schedule so far.
Because Mitchell has been otherworldly.
Yeah, it's almost concerning. It's almost concerning how otherworldly he's been because it feels like he has to. But that's very enlightening, and it also it transitions nicely into my second observation here. The Eastern Conference is starting to make more sense, and this is what I mean by like I'm old enough to remember when the Bulls were the hottest team in the league. Do you remember?
You called your shot on that.
Yeah, you were like, do we have to take the Bulls seriously? I was like, no, we do not. And the Raptors were the 2 seed a couple weeks ago, and the Cavaliers are outside of the play-in. Like, it's just like and the Hawks and Magic, who we all sort of like loved their offseason. We're so excited to see them improve. Did not start that way. Desmond Bane couldn't hit a shot. We thought that he fell victim to the Orlando curse. And it's like the last couple of weeks, just things have started to make more sense. You know what I mean? Like Bane is exploded in the past few games. And the Magic look like a team that's done that. The Hawks, all the talk is Trae Young, this and that, fine. But they're playing great on both ends of the floor, and they're getting great wins. Even in a loss last night in Detroit, that's a great performance on a back-to-back for a very young team.
Well, and Johnson has become a star.
Oh yeah. And you can see it when you watch him. Like there's no way he doesn't threaten you when he has the basketball.
Right.
There's no way he does not threaten you. Like he can shoot, he can pass, and he can get to the mid range. I love Johnson.
The assist numbers too.
That's what I'm saying. And like it just like the Sixers, like watching him be back and sort of like lumber around. And like outside of the Maxey explosion, Paul George is in street clothes. It's just the things that were sort of felt out of whack in the Eastern Conference are sort of like coming back to earth a little bit. There are outliers like the Pistons being, best team in the conference, and the Cavs with all of their struggles. But it just sort
Toronto
of seems
being
like,
in the top 4.
Yeah. It feels like things are sort of like balancing themselves in the Eastern Conference after sort of a wacky first 10, 11 games.
Yeah, and then now, obviously, we started the podcast with it. All eyes are going to be on the Bucks, and like, what becomes of that?
I haven't wrapped my head around the implications of this social media thing quite yet because we just noticed it like seconds before pushing record. But like, he's got to say something. He's going to be in front of microphones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's going to be all sorts of speculation.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a big deal. There's no way around that. All right. Last observation. So we had the Willie Green thing. And as I said at the time, like, I don't care who's coaching the Pelicans. Like, you can blame Willie Green if you want to, but get your own guy in there. But what does that matter? So he was gone, and he was gone pretty fast into the season. I'm not sure if there is any hot seats
Well,
right
you
now.
fired Doug Christie.
I tried to.
Do you remember when you fired Doug Christie?
I tried to.
And they turned around and
and then they won 2 games.
Yeah. No, I think they were good wins too. I think they beat the Nuggets in there.
They did beat the Nuggets. And then I watched them play the other night against Memphis. And I was like, how did they beat the Nuggets? Team is so lame. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how lame. But again, he might be owner's buddy or whatever. Like the fact that he didn't get fired after they had an 8-game losing streak, their worst start since 1990, and lost by 40 in Memphis is still unbelievable to me. But if you can hang on through that, then maybe they're just not firing the guy, right? Like if you're not firing him then I guess you're just sticking with him as your coach. I don't know. But you look and like the teams that suck, like the biggest disappointment by far is the Clippers. Like they're not gonna. You think they'd ever fire Ty Lue?
No, and
right.
I think a lot of times people say like, "Oh, fire blank blank." Well, then what is the plan? You know, because Borrego was there in New Orleans, so it kind of felt like, all right, you know, he used to coach the Hornets. We can have a succession plan that makes sense.
And so there's nobody else really in the Western Conference.
Oh, Jeff Van Gundy.
But I'm saying Dallas isn't getting rid of. Christie would be the one if you don't think Ty Lue is going to be gone and you don't think Jason Kidd's going to be gone. In the East, the biggest disappointments are Milwaukee. Well, they got fired Doc. I guess
think they've got other conversations to have right now.
Right? And then, Charlotte, I wouldn't think they'd fire Charles Lee. And then those other teams, like Charlotte, Brooklyn, Indiana's got Carlisle and Washington, like they all want to be bad. So what's the point?
It feels like the teams that it's expectations. It's being short of expectations. You know, you're gonna bring Jordy Fernandez in the office and be like, I thought we'd be one of the top 6 teams in the East by now.
No, if Jordy Fernandez gets fired, it's going to be for winning.
Yeah, exactly.
That is not what we're here to do.
Yes.
Do you understand
the assignment? This Wolfpack thing. We've got ears we're going to hand out.
Oh, no. In fact, he got a very terse phone call last night after their win over Charlotte. It's like, do you not understand?
Yes.
You don't understand the assignment, man. What are we doing here? And so, if he gets fired. Also, an honorable mention to Zach Edey, who I and many others wondered, is this gonna take in the NBA? Can a 7'3" big man who is not with the new fly up and down the court NBA, how is this going to work? And turns out, at least through 7 games he has been back, he has been unbelievable.
Verno, I want just tell. We're not watching Grizzlies games.
I know.
So tell us what we're missing. Tell him how he's getting to 30 points. How he's getting all these rebounds and blocks. Like what is happening on the floor?
He had 32 and 17 the other night. I'll just look. I'm not going to get too in depth with it. Let me just explain to you. I went and extracted the 7 games he's played. One of which was his first game that he's played all season in Cleveland, and one of which he only played 3 minutes because he got a migraine when he was playing against the Nuggets. But in the games that he has played, and though the schedule has not been the hardest, in the games he's played, when he's been on the court, Memphis has had a net rating of plus 26. They have destroyed people with him on the court, and they have been the number 1 rebounding team in the league in the last 7 games. They get offensive rebounds. He gets everything. And if he doesn't get it, he clears everything out. It's been unbelievable to behold, honestly. And then it all culminated with a 32 and 17 the other night against the Kings. I mean, oh my God. He has changed everything. Literally changed everything. And I would say it is worth tuning it in just to see it. It is Wemby-esque in the sense that you watch it and you're like, bro, he is so much bigger than everyone on the floor. The other night, They were playing in a game and Precious Achua was standing there. He looked like a kid. He literally looked like a child. And Precious is no, like, small guy. And he looked like a kid. He is so much bigger than everyone that it's jarring to watch. It's fun, though. It's like a circus. It's like, dude, is this real?
Well, it's also so, I love to go to the box. Like when I see something like that, let me go to the box score, click on his field goal attempts, and just like see how this happens, right? And one of the things that I noticed when I did that was it's not just an individual effort, it's a team effort. He's sealing and guys are finding him. And they're finding him on rolls. He's getting entry passes. Like they're feeding the monster. They're feeding Lurch from Wednesday.
The one it reminds me, honestly, the one it reminds me of is Yao Ming. That's what it reminds me of. Where it's like you watched him and you're like, bro, this dude is just so much bigger than everyone.
Yeah. And Wemby is so graceful and he's dribbling between his legs and everything. Here's what I was thinking. It's like this could either be Yao Ming or Taco Fall. Because don't forget Taco Fall. But he's much more Yao Ming. That's the concern when you draft someone like that.
But he's 32 and 17. That happened.
Yeah.
I don't care who you're playing. 32 and 17 and missing 2 shots is crazy.
Well, and also in college, he had that jump hook thing that was just unstoppable. It's just unstoppable. And he breaks that a little bit. And I saw one in his last game, but it was deep. It was like from like 9-10 feet away. And he's sort of like got that like long range jump hook thing going. He's great.
It's fun to watch. It is.
You guys need something to cheer about.
I know.
What I mean? You need something to cheer about.
It's been fun to watch for sure. All right, what's your last one?
You said that was your honorable mention.
It was.
Oh, okay. I've got
two. No, because I did the no coaches on a hot seat. That was
right. I've got an honorable mention myself, and I don't want to get too into it because we'll get them back. But like week after week, I miss Inside the NBA. I love watching the new stuff.
Oh, it's back soon.
But like, I miss it. I miss it. I really miss that aspect of my basketball watching experience. You know what I mean?
Well, because they gave us a taste at the beginning of the year.
Yes, and then they just disappeared.
And then they took it away.
We'll see you in 2026. Like, it'll be Christmas morning. Well, I'm going to show up like Santa Claus. And then my other one is this is just, and I'm not saying by the trade deadline, but the list of high profile, high salary stars. Because remember the discussion after the new CBA was like, well, you just can't move these like big contracts anymore. Right. You just can't. You're just not going to see sort of like superstar movement like you have in the past. It's going to be built around the margins because everyone's so careful about salary. This is my list of don't know if he's going to be there next year, guys. And I didn't put hours of thought into this. I thought about it on the train on my way into the studio here. Ready? Number one, these aren't listed in any order. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Got to put him on the list and bold and circle him now.
Giannis.
You stop me when you think like there's no chance this player gets moved.
I don't think they're getting. I'm going to bet I disagree with most all of them.
No, I'm saying next year. So this offseason they could move.
Okay.
So this isn't by the trade deadline. If they're going to be in this uniform next year, Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Trae Young.
Okay.
James Harden.
Okay.
LeBron James.
Okay.
LaMelo Ball. Sabonis is gone. Marketing gone.
Well, you got any king like Levine and DeRozan.
They don't count though. They don't count.
Are you counting the other ones like the McCollums and the Middletons of the world too?
No. So okay. I mean, like hard, like a max contract guys. John Morant.
Morant. You gonna put him in there?
I said, stop me. You didn't stop me.
Oh no, I don't think he'll. I don't think he'll be elsewhere. I don't think he'll be elsewhere.
Well, I did say I don't know if he's going to be there next year. It's a question. It's a question. It's a fair question. I know you're the Grizzly guy, but it's a fair question to ask.
After this all plays out.
Yeah, and you did just trade Desmond Bane,
but you also want to see it with
now
Edie
you have
and Jackson, and you want to see it. You want to see it first.
Replace the scoring production and the superstar draw with Zach Edey.
No. I'm saying you want to see it with them.
Yeah, of course.
First, before you make any decisions
back,
like
He's
that.
not going to be gone too long, right?
No, soon.
Yeah. And here's one that's unlikely. Paolo.
0% chance.
0% chance. That's fair.
No, he's going to
That's
be
fair.
Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Whoa.
We do have
How
to
about
finish.
Song Wars over the weekend? Song Wars was unbelievable. Detroit Pistons and Orlando.
And Magic. We do have to finish with a little bit of Giannis speculation. Just a little something. He could just douse water all over this fire with a press conference. Like, I was frustrated. I'm committed to this team. I love my teammates. We're going to go out and beat whoever we're playing next.
Can we go ahead and give the biggest catastrophe in the world?
Biggest catastrophe in the world.
The biggest catastrophe in the world would be, hey, that Clippers pick is unbelievable.
I've always said, if you really wanted the best return, if you wanted the best return for Giannis,
I know.
Think about it. If you're like John Horst, right? You're like, I want the best return for Giannis. What team can offer you the best return?
I know.
Answer the question.
I know. I
mean, you put some salaries.
Can you imagine? God. I mean,
please tell me they can't, like, there has to be a 1-for-1 trade and they can't, like, just put in Caruso and Hartenstein and 4 first-round picks. And next thing you know, it's like SGA and Giannis and Chet and J-Dub. Oh, my God. I quit. I quit.
We're counting on you. Hey, we're counting on you, my best friend, John Horst. So for years on this podcast, I always called him my best friend, John Horst, and we need him more than ever because I guess it was probably like, I don't know, 8-9 years ago. Longtime Mismatch listeners will remember. I was at the All-Star game in Charlotte, and one of my longtime buddies, Sonny Vaccaro, the godfather of grassroots basketball, he was in the lobby, and we went down to meet him and his wife, Pam, and like all these like NBA people, whatever, they come up, kiss the ring and whatever. So we're all sitting around, we're hanging out with Sonny. He's holding court, and I'm sitting there talking to this young guy next to me, and we're just talking about players of basketball and whatever else. And finally, after like 20 minutes, I was like, so what do you do, John? And he's like, I'm the GM of the Bucks. And I was like, what? And I had no idea. I was like, I'm like,
what do you do, Chris? Well, I do these Masters updates.
I know.
Let me tell you about them.
No,
like,
I walked away and I was like, GM of the Bucks. He had gotten the job. Like it was after all that weird circumstance where the owners fought about who was going to be, and they're like, hey, John's around, let him run it. And then they like gave it to this really young guy, and he ended up winning a title and everything. But here's the deal. My best friend, John Horst, we need you now more than ever. You cannot trade him to the Thunder.
Please save us. I mean, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense.
It would be the worst. Just the worst. Seriously.
It makes so much sense.
And that Clippers pick, friggin' Clippers, they ruin everything. Go look at like, oh my God.
Do you know what this is? If that happens, it's Pablo Torre's fault.
It is
Pablo Torre's fault.
Yep.
If Giannis ends up on the Thunder, there's one person to blame, and it's Pablo Torre. And they should probably have to shut down that podcast.
Yep.
I'll send him a text.
Huh?
If it happens, I'll send him a text. He needs to bow out.
No, they just change it from Pablo Torre finds out to Pablo Torre ruins everything.
Ruins everything he talks about.
Just do the bird watching one, Pablo. Stick to bird watching. Don't ruin the NBA. All right. That's it for today's show. Thanks to our executive producer, Jessie Lopez. As always, Jacoby, I'll talk to you later this week.
Must be 21 or over and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. Or 18 and over and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY